If you didn't know, Baldi's Basics was actually inspired by a game called Sonic Schoolhouse. So, I decided to have Baldi and Sonic compete at the thing that they both have in common, running. Before we start, one thing I want to clarify is that comics are off limit. It must be hard because I know how you guys just love the comics. I'm just kidding, I love you guys. So, the first thing that I did was try to figure out the speed of Sonic. I wanted the race between Sonic and Baldi to be close, so I looked all over the internet for the slowest Sonic game, and I found Sonic Blast. I looked up how fast he goes in the game, and I found this fandom that says he goes 4.6 meters per second, but I couldn't find any evidence to back up its claims, so I decided to take it into my own hands. I took a recording of Sonic Blast, and I analyzed it frame by frame, and I got that Sonic runs at about 7.5 Sonic widths per second, but that doesn't mean anything if we don't know how wide Sonic actually is. So, I took a still image of him and started pixel measuring. I know that it is canon that he is 3 feet 3 inches tall, or about a meter tall, so I made a box that is his height, and I put it sideways to see how wide he is, and he was 70 centimeters wide. So, that means that by my math, he goes about 5.25 meters per second. Now, you may say that is fast, but for reference, Usain Bolt runs at 10 meters per second, so Sonic is running pretty slow in this game. The next thing we have to do is find out how fast Baldi is going. Because the game shows him teleporting instead of running, it will be a little harder to find out how fast he is going. I think the first thing we should do is figure out how tall Baldi is, to find out how far he's going in each teleport. How convenient, there's a ruler right there. So what I did was make another box that is the size of his ruler, and I stacked it up to find out how tall he is. And man, he's only 2 feet and 2.5 inches tall. I looked it up and almost every source said he was 6'9", but that's just incorrect. His ruler is clearly a foot ruler, not something like a yardstick, or he would be 6'6", or a meter stick, where he'd be 7'2". So, the next part is trying to find out how far he goes in each teleport. He goes about 8 bricks far when he teleports. Trust me, the bricks are important. I can convert his height into brick, where he is almost exactly 14.5 bricks tall. So, I got a better picture of the wall and started measuring. I put a square that is as tall as Baldi on the picture and flipped it sideways to get a scale of the picture. I found out that 8 bricks is about 4 feet long. So, by my calculations, he goes about 4 feet per ruler slap. All that we need to know now is how many times he slaps his ruler per second. In Classic Remastered, if you get every question wrong, he slaps his ruler at 1 time per second, which means he runs at 4 feet per second, which is really slow compared to Sonic. But that isn't the fastest Baldi goes in the series. In Baldi's Basics Plus, there's a challenge called the Speedy Challenge, where you and Baldi go significantly faster. From my research, he doesn't speed up if you get notebooks in this mode, so we just have to count how many times he hits his ruler per second. I counted 5 times per second, which means that he's going 20 feet per second in speedy mode, or 6 meters per second, where Sonic just goes 5.25 meters per second. That means that Baldi wins the gold! Woo! But we all know the fastest one of them all is Usain Bolt.